This is 11 great stocks to buy now.
Action channel, folks. Right here at the top of the video, we're going to go through my entire stocks to buy watch list right now. We're going to talk about these stocks, talk about price targets, talk about when I'm going to start positions in these stocks, if I'm waiting for certain prices to get hit, all that good stuff, upside potential with these ones. So we're going to go over all that at the beginning of this video here today. Big day for the public count here today. It reclaimed $3 million.
By the way,
yes, it closed.
I've seen so many people talking about how much they hate seeing dollars, which is why you don't hear me talk about dollars. I talk about percentages. Percentages are timeless. My account can have basically the same outcome as yours if my account's 20 million and your account's 20,000. When we talk about timeless principles and we teach how trading is done and we focus on percentages. Also, showing numbers like this kind of feels like, I don't know, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like low self-esteem, like trying to compensate for something. You're never going to see that from me. But what I do want you to know is timeless principles, things that work, right? Percentages apply to any size account. One man's floor is another man's ceiling. And also, when you focus on dollars, we talked about this on one of the Tory trades videos. When you focus on dollars, you lose track of how to make sure you are focusing on your plan, right? For example, if you go and you start playing Mario and you're only looking at how many coins you're collecting as you're going, you're going to mess up because you're not focusing on, hey, I got to make sure I jump over this thing, I go down this tunnel, I jump over this gap here, and then I beat Bowser, right? If you're focusing in on how many coins you've collected during that time, you're no longer focusing on playing the game. Play the game. Stock trading is a game. Sounds crazy. But if you treat stock trading like a game and you know the rules on how to be successful, you stop focusing about the dollars and just focus on your plan, you'll be incredibly successful. So that's my rant on there. I want to get forward to his 11 stocks. We have a lot of stocks to go.
We wouldn't have 85,000 plus subscribers on the channel if you guys didn't enjoy it. So I know you guys definitely enjoy it. By the way, huge announcement here I have for you guys. Dollars usually my Discord deal via a stock market plus.
Like I say, we're going to scrub the mess through this, trying to find the good stuff.
Access to all that. Adobe, The Planet, Wynn, Celsius, Fubo, TTD. Here we go. This is my entire list of possible stocks I'm going to be buying. Okay, we have TTD, Trade Desk on there, Etsy, Adobe, The Planet, Wynn, Celsius, Fubo, AMD, and we're going to go over all these in just a moment. Shopify, Elf, PayPal, Bath and Body Works, Cheesecake Factory, Red Rock Resorts, Nike, Middleby, SoFi, Hershey's, RH. This is like a 2.
This is way more than 11. But here's what we're going to do, because this is going to be fun. I don't want to watch any more of the video. I want to go through each one of these. Is that okay with you? Type the letter K if that is okay with you. Just one time. Just type it once. Don't be weird. Okay. Don't be weird. I know what you're thinking. Type the letter K. And you know what? Don't type K. Type OK. If this is okay with you. So let's go with TTD. Let's go with TTD. And let's start over here in Outlier. Well, first off, let's start from the top down. The market is still in a bearish trend. So I wouldn't be looking to go long on any stock right now because the market is not quite there yet. You still have your 10 under the 20. Price is not quite over the 50 yet. We did have some really solid bounces off of the pal injury. That's what I was trying to avoid. Thank you. We have a lot of bounces right here on these order blocks, but we don't quite have a bullish trend yet. Remember, one day does not make a trend. One day does not make a trend. A trend is set up over time. The 10 EMA, the 20 EMA, and the 50 EMA. Let's break down what those mean. The 10 is your short term. That's 10 trading days. If price is under the 10 EMA, that means your short-term trend is down. If price is over, that means your short-term trend is up. So currently, we've got 2 closes over the short-term trend. That's great. That's what we want to see. Next, the 20 EMA, that's your intermediate term. That's 20 trading days. That's 4 weeks. So 10 days is 2 weeks. 20 days is 4 weeks. Okay. So now we do have 2 closes over the intermediate trend. And then when you get to the red line, that is your 50-day moving average. Your 50-day is your 10-week moving average. That's your longer term moving average. So when your short is over your intermediate and price is over the longer term, that is a bullish trend. We're not there yet, and that's okay. That's okay. So with that in mind, I wouldn't be interested in going long any stocks. This is how I trade, but you can trade differently. right? But always remember, even if a stock is great, a stock has these limitations. 40% of the move of a stock is due to the market. The market, as you can see right here, is weak. It's strengthening. Absolutely, is it strengthening? But it's still in a bearish trend. Now, 30% of the stock's move is due to the sector. So we'll just go to the financial sector real quick. We'll go to XLF, financial sector, right? Financial sector also looking really strong lately. Not quite to that bullish trend yet. 1020 hasn't crossed over exactly. Price is over the 50. So if you had a financial stock like TTD, the trade desk, the market is 40%. 30% is due to the sector. So it's not quite bullish, but it's getting more bullish. And then 30% would be due to the stock itself. So let's go to TTD. You can see here, this is a super weak stock. Remove all annotations real quick. I mean, this is a really beat up stock. A really beat up stock. This is not a stock I would love to own. Not at all. But 30% of the stock's move is just due to the stock itself, right? And also, if you see a stock that's gone down, if you see a stock that's gone 50% in a month, that should tell you something. That should tell you that the market doesn't want this stock. And you are not. Doesn't matter how big you think you are. Doesn't matter how many banana measuring contests you want to go on. You are not going to move this market. You can try and pump the stock with whatever YouTube video you put out or whoever else you work on. But it's down 50%. Let me put a little perspective on that. Let's throw a little sprinkle of perspective on top of that. If you're down 50% on this stock, you need it to double. You need it to double just to get back to break even. So if you got in before the earnings at 121 and it's down at 62 right now, you need it to double just to get back to break even. I can understand why somebody would be putting out a video trying to pump up stocks like that. So looking at TTD, let's look at it in Outlier as well. TTD. All right, look at this ultra fear. Whoa, this is the worst fear I've ever seen. It got a score of 0.78. So less than 1 is what these scores were. That is, it maxes out at 0.0. 0.32, 0.26. Oh my gosh. Now here's the other thing too. When you see these huge moves, right? When you see the fear and greed heat map get as dark as this is, when you see it reach extremes, that is when you need to start making sure that you are getting out of the way, right? The way that I look at it is the further this goes in one direction, the more likely it is to snap back. The more likely it is to snap back. Now, you're probably seeing that buy signal right there. Of course, always, always, always keep your risk in check. And I'm telling you right now, how I would have traded out of this is looking at this, right? I would have made sure that if it was below my half ATR, I'd get out. But also on the fear and greed heat map, if the greed starts coming out and it starts getting back more into fear, that's a red light for me. That's a get out of the way. And you can see right before earnings, fear started to increase and then giant moves down. And then the tech sector, well, I thought this would be a financial stock. Oh, it's in the tech sector. My bad. This is in the tech sector. Also is still very fearful. So TTD is a stock I would not be buying right now. But that's okay. I think we have a very, very, very different trading strategy. Very different. Let's go to the next one. Etsy. Let's go to Etsy. Adam, I appreciate your comment here. I like to try and time the bottoms. If you get it right, you can make bank for sure. But what if you get it wrong? What if you get it wrong? And like, imagine somebody who said AMD, like this is the bottom right here at 140 on AMD. And then they quickly found out, oh wait, it could go a lot lower. And it got down to 96, right? Now, could this be the bottom right here? It could be. That order block came through. But you could have called the bottom at 40. You could have called the bottom at 130. You could have called the bottom at 120. You could have called the bottom at 110, right? In my opinion, Adam, and you do you, my friend, but in my opinion, if you use the outlier trend template, you don't have to guess. You're never going to catch the top and you're never going to catch the bottom, and just be okay with that. Look at it objectively and say, okay, are the trends moving down? Are the trends moving up? I'm going to be in a stock that's moving up. That's where I'm going to be. That's where I'm going to be. Oh, but I appreciate you on that, my friend. Let's go to the next stock. What was that? Etsy. Okay. So let's look at Etsy. Etsy just got a buy signal. It's still within a downtrend. Let's go zoom in a little bit. So buy signal still within a downtrend. The discretionary sector is getting a little less fearful. The fear and greed heat map peaked at around 23 and is starting to get less fearful right now. So that's not so bad. Big move up on here. Big move up a couple days ago. So is this the bottom? I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. We still have a bearish trend. So I wouldn't be interested in that until we see these crossing back over. Even with a buy signal, even with the fear starting to come out, getting more greedy, I would personally wait until the stock strengthens up a lot and when the market strengthens up a lot. So let's go to the next one. Adobe, ADBE. ADBE. Let's go over here. Adobe, ADBE. JG says, I enjoy working or shorting Wells Fargo because I used to work for those bastards. That's funny. I like that. Wayne says, yeah, that's ultra red. That's the lowest score I've ever seen. That was fun to see. All right, let's look over here on Adobe. Sell signal came through on February 24th, so it's still sitting on a sell signal. You can see here it went from a little bit greedy to a decent amount of fear. It's at 21. The tech sector is getting less fearful while Adobe's getting more fearful. That divergence there isn't so great to me. It did just create this order block right here. We do have a close over the 10 EMA. So again, another stock that I wouldn't be interested in. Now, it's easy to look at these and say, I wouldn't buy that. And of course, it's easy to say, I wouldn't buy that because it's not strong, right? You want to be looking at stocks that are already moving up, going higher, not a stock that's been moving down and you're hoping and praying that this is the bottom, that you're hoping and praying that it is now going to start going up. Now, these are definitely starting to show some strength. The market's starting to show some strength. So could these be a time where they're reversing? Absolutely, it could be. And that's why Tom Basso would say, you can buy any stock on any day. Just know how much risk you're willing to take. Let's go to the next one. What's that? Is that PLN? I think that's PLN. It's got a dividend symbol right there, so I'm not entirely sure if that's what it is, but let's just double check. PLN. We don't cover PLN. Let's go look here. We covered 2,500. No, it can't be PLN. What is that? Is it PLNT? PLNT? Oh, that had to be it. Planet Fitness. I go to Planet Fitness. It used to be called Texas Family Fitness, but Planet Fitness bought out Texas Family Fitness. Okay. So March 10th, we got a buy signal, and this one actually shows some strength. This one actually shows a lot of strength here. It rounded and is starting to get less fearful, becoming greedier. That's what you want to see. And as you can see here, the discretionary sector, it looks like this might have peaked as well and is starting to get less fearful. Let's look over here. PLTN. PLNT. Oh, yeah, here we go. So now you got your 10 over 20 price over the 50. So this one actually, I would be interested in. Let's talk about why. First, we already have a buy signal. The stock is getting more greedy. That's what you want to see. You want the greed helping push the price of the stock up. The sector itself getting less fearful, moving towards greed. And then you've got a bullish cross right here. This, not so bad. Not so bad. Dale says it's PLNH. Oh, that changes things, doesn't it? PLNH. PLNH. I typed in PLNG. Fingers not working. PLNH. No, where the hell is H? There it is. Sorry. Okay, there we go. We don't cover PLNH yet. PLNH. Planet 13 Holdings. Oh, wait. You're right. It is PLNH. It's a 31-cent stock. We've talked about this before. I am a snob. I am a huge snob. I don't want to buy a stock that's less than $20. Why do I not want to buy a stock that's less than $20? A, the liquidity is going to be an issue. The market has told you that they don't want this stock. And whatever it was, if it's gone under $20, the market is telling you, we don't want it. Good stocks are not under $20. Good stocks are not 31 cents. Yeah, where the hell is my H? Good to see you, Mikey Mike. The stock should go up, and that's exactly right, Nathan. When you see times like this, let's go here. You can look at it in one of two ways, right? Well, the stock should go up. It should, versus Planet Fitness, which is not one he looked at, but the stock is going up. Do you see the difference here? The stock should go up. AMD. The stock should go up. We don't know when, versus the stock is moving up. It's a big difference there. It's a huge difference there. Let's go to the next one. Wynn, W-Y-N-N. All right. Wynn. Sell signal came through March 5th. It's been moving down, still within a downtrend. You can see the greed value peaked up here and it starts moving down. Now, I'm telling you right now, the fear and greed map right here is a huge exit signal for me. Look at this one right here, right? This giant move up, getting more and more and more greedy. And then you can see it reached a high of like 92, 93. Sell signal came through, huge snap down. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. This is data you won't get on any other platform, which is why I really like showcasing it. And this is my exit signals right here. If I see the greed starting to go, even if it has a buy signal, if I see the greed starting to pull back on individual stocks, then I'm out. Let's go to, what's this one? Wynn, W-I-N-N. Let's see if there's any order blocks real quick. Yeah, it's got a lot of order blocks on both sides right here. Still a bearish trend. Still got a sell signal. I mean, it's losing a lot of greed right here. So yeah, this is one I wouldn't buy. Personally, I wouldn't buy. Because why would you want to buy it? You've got overhead resistance right here. You've got sell signals. You've got the fact that it's getting less greedy. Yeah, no thank you. Celsius. I know this is one he talks about a lot. And this is actually a really interesting one. I'm glad he added it on his list. Let's talk about it. So this one was moving down for ages. And we talked about it many times, how this was a bearish trend for ages and ages and ages. And then it had a huge gap up. I think it was like 30-something% after earnings. And then it had what we call in the industry a gap and crap. So when it came down, it broke through this bottom candle here. Now, let me give you a comparison of gap and crap versus gap and go. This is gap and crap, gap up, come back down. Let's go to gap and go, like AT&T, gap up and go. Big difference, right? That's what you want to see after earnings. This is not. Now, it did recover. It did turn into a bullish trend right around here, right around March 14th. And do we cover CELH? CELH. I can say we cover 2,500 stocks and we're adding more almost every week. We do have a buy signal here on March 21st. March 21st, you can see it started to get a little fearful and then the greed came back in, which is what we want to see. And in fact, you're not going to believe this. I actually like this stock. I like the stock. I can't believe it. I like the stock. This is one that is not a terrible stock. Because it, even though it did have the gap and crap, it's resumed its upward trend. Now, the other thing here is that it only has a few dollars. How many percent is this? It's got about 10% move to the upside. But then you have a double stacked order block up here. So this one could prove problematic to get through. Could prove problematic. This comes all the way back from August last year. So CELH is not bad. Let's go to the next one here. Fubo. I'm really confident we won't cover Fubo. No. Let's go back here to Fubo. That's right. This is another penny stock. I hate penny stocks. Right. Penny stocks are hoping and praying something works out. Did this work out? For sure. I mean, this had a 300-something% move. But then again, it went inside of this order block. Let's see how far back this order block goes. August of 2022. August of 2022. Came up. What happened? Monkey hammered back down. Really struggled. Create a second order block right there. Create a third order block right there. even though it was in a bullish trend. This is why I say, even a bullish trend, if it has an order block right here, I'm not interested, right? How much could I make here? Like 20 cents? Nah, it's not worth it to me. And then it's really struggling. Now, it looks like it might have a 10, 20, 50 cross back in the next couple of days if this trend continues on, but it's got a lot of overhead resistance right here. You could still make some dollars. I mean, could you, in percentage terms, still make some money? Yeah, let's see. Still make 24% or so until it gets to that first order block. So, yeah, go Celsius. Finally got a good one from Jeremy. Exactly. Yeah, Jonathan says, how big can an order block be? Yeah, huge, huge. So this one, in my perspective, I don't trade penny stocks. I don't like penny stocks. It is also an issue with getting out, right? You've probably heard a lot of horror stories of somebody who got into a penny stock thinking it was great, and then they couldn't get out because nobody would take the other side of the trade. You don't have to stress about that on a stock that has a lot of liquidity, like a $20 stock. Let's go to AMD. This was the next one on this list. So AMD is still sitting in this buy signal. And if you remember, I've talked about this many times. When the sell signal comes within a downtrend, I would consider that a sell to start shorting. And then if you get a buy signal on the opposite end of it, this would be like a buy to close. So sell to open, buy to close. So for me, even though it is technically got a buy signal, that would not be a go long point for me. But it did find a bottom. It seems to start coming back up. You can see the fear and greed heat map peaked at around 23 and has come up considerably. Now it's at 34. The tech sector also coming up a little bit. And then if we go to AMD here, I believe we do have a bullish cross right here. So the way I would read this is I would be cautiously optimistic after it gets through this order block. If it gets above 115, 116 or so, I would start to become interested in it for sure, for sure. So this is not the worst one. Sorry, excuse me. This is not the worst one. Had it been the worst one for a while? Yeah. Buying a stock, buying the dip, taking your jump off the cliff, you don't know how far that's going to go. Not at all. So that one's not so bad. Crazy to say that I've changed my opinion on AMD, but that's the thing. As a trader, let's make this big. As a trader, you need to be adaptable. Don't ever consider yourself perma bear, perma bull, perma anything. I am permanently looking for choices. And then at the same time, I'm not stressing about, am I going to miss the stock? Because I have a trading plan, and you should have your own trading plan too. When you have a trading plan, there is no FOMO. Okay. Because if the stock doesn't line up for what I want to see, I'm not even looking at it. I don't even care. But if a stock does show up that meets my criteria, I'm now obligated to take that trade. If I do not take the trade because I'm afraid, because I might lose money, because my last couple of trades were losers, right? This one trade that you decide not to take could be the big one that pays for 10 trades previously that you had lost. So just want to put that out there. No FOMO when you have a trading plan. All right, let's go to the next one, which is, we're not going to go through his whole list here. That'd take all day. Shopify. Okay, so this is also one where we got a buy signal. Didn't turn out to be the very best buy signal in the world. In fact, one thing that you could do is you can come up right up here to performance summary and you can expand this and see, oh, you know what? Outlier signals on Shopify, they don't work out that great. It actually has a negative back test. So for me, I would skip that right away because it has a negative back test. Now, you're probably like, well, how would I even be able to filter all these out? We have a screener in here. And in the screener, you can set whatever criteria you want to see, including does it have a positive or negative signal return? And then it shows you that signal return right here. So Shopify wouldn't even show up on my list. Like BSX has a 49% return, GE 84% return. But let's go back to Shopify. And if you did take one of these signals, just always keep your risk in check, right? If you see that it closes under your stop loss, or you see that the greed is going out, that's the time to get out of the stock and not hold a loser, not hold a bag holder. So look over here. See, it did come down in the fear. Now it's come back up in the greed. The tech sector also starting to move from fear towards greed. And if we go to shop over here, Okay. This is one I would avoid for a couple of reasons. A, the outlier backtest wasn't great, so I would skip it for that reason. But your 1020 is not quite crossed over yet. It is over your 50, so this is not quite a bullish trend. It's kind of mixed at the moment. But then you've got order blocks on both sides, which could prove problematic. However, if it crested over 115, past that order block right there, it could have some legs. Not bad. Let's do two more of Jeremy's list here. How many would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hey, that get us to 11. Perfect. So let's go to Elf Beauty. Oh, there you go. Brandon, I have a nice trailing stop loss set on AMD. And that I really appreciate. I really appreciate that one, Brandon, because you can take a stock on any day at any time, right? And if it's going up for you, let it go. In fact, I heard this saying one time. I'd love to take credit for it, but it was cut your losers short, let your winners run out of control, which is the exact opposite. Most people cut their winners short and let their losers run out of control. Imagine how great life would be if you could cut all your losers short and let your winners run out of control. That's what you do by having a trailing stop and just letting it go. Don't stress, let it go. Okay, so his next one was Elf Beauty, which was a really, really bad one. Look how fearful this got. 4. A score of 4. While the sector was getting less fearful, this was getting extremely fearful and still is deep in the fear at 19. Let's look over here at Elf real quick. Yeah, this is, again, one of those stock where it's like, man, the market's telling you they don't love this stock. It's only down 51% in 2 months. It's only down 51%, Chris. It's only down 51%. I only have to double to get back to break even. Not that big a deal, right? That's what happens when you don't respect risk. Now you need the stock to double to get back to break even up here. Or you could have just said, oh, wait, that's a red light. You could have said that's a red light. And then I think I'll get out. And had you got out at a red light, a close under the 10 EMA, you would have only saved $54 a share. You would have only saved $54 a share. So y'all are talking about the top of the order block in AMD. Wait for the close. Wait for the close. You've seen many times. In fact, here's a couple examples where it wicks up through and then comes back down, or it wicks down through and then goes back up. So just watch for the close on these. That's what you're going to be looking for. But Elf Beauty, yeah, that's ugly, really ugly. And then the final one of the 11 was PayPal. My screener settings are set to bougie. That's right. PayPal getting less fearful, a lot less fearful, even moving up towards greed. You've got the financial sector moving up towards greed. Oh, look at this. PayPal might have turned around. But I know it's got order block city all over the place. There you go. There's a great order block example. Came down, created this order block, and now might be moving back up. We'll have to see. You still got a 10 under the 20. Price is still under the 50. And yeah, this is still one that I would not avoid. So of this list here, we saw several, right? We saw 11, which is great. We saw 11. Promises were kept. Some of them were okay. Some of them were pretty bad. And here's the thing. You need to always, 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 always keep your risk in check. If you are buying a dip, by all means, buy the mess out of it. But just know how much you're willing to find out if it's wrong before you get out. And then if you say, I'm going to give it $1 to find out if I'm wrong, and then it violates that dollar, you must take your exit. You must take your exit. Minervini had this great post right here. Knowing you should sell when your stock does this, right? You finally get into a stock you think is working out great, and then it turns around and you're like, oh, I know I should sell. But you don't, because you're afraid that it's going to turn around and go on without you. But what happens is you're going to get caught in a move like this. And let's look at a real life example in AMD. Because, for example, let's say you bought it. Here, right? That could be a green light. Let's say you bought it here. You got your outlier trend template pointed up. You got to close over the 10 EMA. That could be a green light. Now, when did it close under the 10 EMA? Right there. That would be a red light. So that was a decent gain right there, just here to here. You know, $10 a share. That's not bad. 6%. It's really not bad at all. But then what happened? Right. If you don't take your exit signal, it went from roughly 165 a share down to 96. Down to 96. So if you get in a trade, you know where you're going to get out before you get in. Repeat this with me. Hold up your right hand and repeat with me. If I get into a trade, I know exactly where I'll get out if I'm wrong. Do that, then you won't ever get caught and it move down like this. And then hoping it comes back up. So let's continue on here. By the way, I haven't introduced myself. I know I'm just some random guy on the internet, but my name is Christopher Yule. I've twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I was mentored by 5 of the market wizards, the best traders of all time. I've been successfully trading since 2009, and this is where outliers like us save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. Now go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And I have a question for you. What do you think? What do you think? Let's go over to my YouTube channel and let's look at the poll of the day. So, question of the day. It's not whether you're right or wrong that's important. It's how much money you make when you're right and how much you lose when you're wrong. So what do you think? So first choice is money decides who's right and luck beats skill every time. So luck beats skill, right? If you're buying the dip, you're hoping for that luck, right? Or money decides who's right. Money decides who's right. Now, listen, if you are ready to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, I would really encourage you to head over to outlier.com. You can save 64% off the monthly price by getting the annual pass for just 82 cents a day. And new slide, we've made it even easier for you to upgrade. You can save 64% with just one click if you're on the monthly plan and you're ready to upgrade to annual. So be sure you go vote on my YouTube page. And now let's put a few of your stocks in the chat. Let's put a few of your stocks in the chat and let's take a look at them. Be sure you put your stock and then long or your stock and then short. Janine said it right. Only price pays. Only price pays. Order blocks are like turning points. Yeah, well said. And Brandon was repeating for me. Thank you. If I get into a trade, I know exactly where I'll get out if I'm wrong. Twice been awarded the most random man on the internet. That's me. Well said. Let's check this poll real quick. Let me refresh the page and see how y'all voted. I want to see how you voted. All right. Money decides who's right and luck beats skill every time. Dude, I couldn't no. If you really think you're going to be successful in the market just by being lucky, dude, this isn't the secret. This isn't the law of attraction. Only money decides who's right. Yeah, 100% of you voted for that. That's smart because you all are winners. You understand that. Vincent's going to call Nancy real quick. Thank you, Vincent. Now, of course, be sure to tell me in the chat what you're trading and come back for this afternoon's live stream, right? Where outliers like us will save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. Now, YouTube is going to pop up a couple recommended videos. I recommend you watch one of them, and I also recommend I see you this afternoon. We'll talk soon.